Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I was having a late lunch. I've just finished having my lunch, and I was reading through the transfer news and just anything in the world of football. And I thought, you know what, before I continue my reading, why not make a video with you lot? Any news or views that you lot have throughout the video on anything we discuss, please let me know in the comment section. One love for everyone who's watching the ads. Appreciative that everyone that has commented or liked in advance. People, it helps the algorithm and it helps DG Nation move. Now, Bayern Munich have been pursuing Harry Kane, people, and to be honest, I still believe he's going to sign a new deal at Spurs. I've always maintained that I think he's going to stay. But before I offer my own opinions, let's see what David Ornstein has said in his latest update on the future of the Tottenham's captain and the former Arsenal Academy product. I mean, if you feel like staying at Spurs and pulling the Sol Campbell, why not? Not going to happen. When you look, when you look at the Daily Mail and all of these things, they do say he's currently leaning towards staying. And to be fair, it must require a heavy heart. I know I said I'd offer my opinions at the start. You know, on one hand, I'm sure he wants to win a trophy at Spurs, wishing on a star there. He's the captain. Obviously, as a young striker growing up through the academy and dreaming of being a footballer, I guess you wish you want to win the Golden Boot, you want to do this, you want to do that, but it's a team game. There's 11 individuals out there and 20 plus man squads. You dream of winning World Cups, winning Premier Leagues, winning trophies. And Kane at 29, 30 even. It is a shame when I take off my Arsenal supporter cap. It's a shame that he ain't won a trophy. I do think football can get superficial and, you know, football is deeper than just trophies all the time and stuff like that. But it's a crime that he ain't won a trophy. I mean, everybody talks about Alan Shearer's record and things, and great record from Alan Shearer, bad boy striker, watching him growing up in my 28 years. But he's won a Premier League title. It moves that everyone forgets that, really. Kane is too good of a player not to win a trophy. If you can do that at Spurs, fair enough. If you're happy with the new management, fair enough. But Harry Kane seems like he can be lied to. It seems like, again, big up all the galley out there. But, you know, we've all been there. You're with a lady and she says, I'm done with your nonsense. I'm not putting it up with it anymore. You whisper 1-2 sweetenings. You take her for mixed drinks and a night out and she's calm again. And that's how I feel Daniel Levy treats Harry Kane. In hindsight, shouldn't have signed that 6-year deal. Maybe running down his deal, maybe he can stay in England. There has been reports that his family are looking at homes and schools for the kids and all of those sort of things in Munich. He's got a decision to make. With Kane, I don't know. I'd look at it three ways, you know. I probably need to leave. There's a rebuilding stage. While I think people forget Kane, you know, he didn't just start playing for Spurs at 18. You know, he went on a couple loans and things, and he's still only 30. And I think he'll be one of them that continues to score goals. You want to win trophies. Spurs are at a transitional period. Bayern Munich, you're going to scumbag some trophies. And also the fact that if you run down this deal, whether Spurs let you do that or not, you run down this deal, you might get a move to, you know, anywhere in Europe and a couple of clubs in the Premier League. You could end up at City or United, regardless of who they have. Bayern Munich have reached an agreement with Tottenham to sign Harry Kane. Sources in Germany indicate a proposal from the Bundesliga side believed to be worth more than 100 million euros, in brackets 86.4 million quid, was accepted by their Premier League counterparts. Now, if you're a Spurs fan and you're of the acceptance that Kane probably should leave, it's probably best that he goes abroad, because if he ends up at another Premier League team, it's peak, really. I want him to leave because it means no dodgy penalties in the North London derby, people. And there were some rumours he wants his future resolved by, you know, before the start of the season. But at 30, if you can get a 3-4 year deal, they're probably going to give you significantly more wages than Spurs. You're going to win trophies. It is what it is. What I would say to Harry Kane, while you're Mr. Tottenham Hotspur, and rightly so, the fans adore you and you're a baller for England, you're 30. At some point, you know, time waits for no one. No matter what you've achieved at Spurs, no matter how good you are, you're going to be 33, 35. And the Spurs fans, just like any fans in any scenario, because the same kind of happened with Wenger, you know, you're going to get an applause, you're going to get a hail-up, but sooner or later, you're just going to get a testimonial. And once you stop playing, it's not that people don't care. They don't care. You might get a stand named after you. But like in football, life, it continues, innit? There'll be the new guy. And, you know, you're going to sit there and you don't want to have any regrets. If he doesn't have any regrets, he wants to stay at Spurs, do your thing. But you don't want to sit there when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, talking to your grandkids or just thinking to yourself about your regrets in life, because you can't go back in time. If there's a small inkling of you taking this step to joining Bayern Munich, a powerhouse in European football, you've got to do it, people. He wanted the situation resolved by Tottenham's opening fixture at Brentford on Sunday. If this does go through, probably needs to get a flight, an EasyJet. Kane EasyJet flight. Get a flight over to Germany and get your medical done. This probably means he'd be left out of the game, really. And I think it's, it's quite mad that Harry Kane got 30 goals last year in the Prem, and nobody really cares. And obviously, you can't say it's all for nothing, because Spurs had a crap season by what they've been doing in recent years. But, without his 30 goals, where would they have been? Even more, really. But 30 goals, nothing really to show for it. So we have to see. He's known to be enjoying life under their new head coach, Postecoglou, forgive me for mispronunciation, and has been leaning towards staying, but it's unclear how the striker will react to this development. And I would also look at it, the club have accepted the bid. Like, whether you want to stay or not, and again, we know this is a bit different. It's nothing with ability. If Kane wants to stay, they'll get that new contract ironed out today. But the club have accepted the bid. So playing devil's advocate, removing the fact that he's a great player, he's a captain, he's Harry Kane and all of that jazz, the club have accepted a bid. They don't want you anymore. Or maybe they don't want you, they've accepted a bid. That means they're planning for a life without you. As a selfish Arsenal fan, of course I hope he goes, really, because that's 30 goals out of Spurs' team immediately, and hopefully they'd rely on Richarlison. But it's an interesting one, and he has to go with his heart. As I always say in life, just have no regrets. If you want to stay at Spurs and whatever comes with it, fair enough. I can't say I wish you trophies, but I hope you enjoy your life. If you go to Munich, fair enough. It might not even work out at Bayern Munich, but you don't want to have any regrets, especially in your playing days, because it's a long career and he's still only 30. And obviously, in the day and age where, athletes are getting fitter and fitter, I'm not going to say physicality is not declining, but to me, it's not like Harry Kane's one of them, man, that, he's blisteringly quick. He relies on that he's an intelligent player. He loves to drop into the 10. He's a street smart striker. I reckon, when he's like 33, 34, he could do the Kevin Phillips thing, just score goals. The man's born to score goals. Whoever released him from Arsenal, I need an interview, because how did we deserve this? He's got 12 months remaining on his deal. Spurs want him to tie new terms. There's been no progress on that thus far, people. And if Harry Kane's smart, you do not sign that new deal until you have absolute confirmation that Spurs are quote unquote heading in the right direction. It seems like things are happening for Bayern Munich after 3 bids accepted, and Kane has to have been speaking directly or indirectly to Bayern Munich for them to have, away from him just being a good player, this level of encouragement to not leave Spurs away, really and truly. He's reluctant to embark upon a transfer once the season begins, people. So we'll have to see, really. Apparently, personal terms, he will earn about 25 million per year, an equivalent of 480 bags a week, which is more than double his current salary. Now, away from your thoughts, I know money isn't everything, and he's got money and he's got endorsements and things, but career's winding down, mate. Like, you got to maximize your earnings, like in every industry. And again, I'm not saying a man don't think about his children, because he does, but think about your children, sort them out, really and truly. So we'd have to see. I don't think Kane would be wrong if he ran down his deal. Whether Levy will let that happen, I don't know. Moving away from that, Man United are weighing up moves for French duo Todibo, who's got his career back on track after the disastrous Barcelona spell. And Pavard, really, I think there'll be 2 good signings for what it's worth for Manchester United. I think the best thing Man United have probably done this summer is Harry Kane. I'm not Harry Kane, from one good Harry to one crap one. Harry Maguire could be joining people, West Ham. So that's probably Man United's best thing. I think Man United will shock the market. Personally, I think they're going to sign another centre middle too, because you can't let Van der Beek go. You can't let Fred go. There's a next McTominay potentially. You're weak in midfield, whether you rate them or not, really and truly. If anything happens to Casemiro, is quote unquote peak, and they clearly need another centre half potentially. You've got Varane and Martinez good, Lindelof's good. I'm defo missing out on next one. But yeah, I think Todibo would be a good signing for Man United. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts. Rhys James, living the dream, come from Chelsea's academy, has won the Champions League and a bunch of trophies. He's been named as their captain for this campaign, people. Apparently, the Premier League are no closer to hosting a match in America, says the chief executive, Richard Masters. I do think we're going to live in a day and age where a North London derby is not going to be played in Tottenham or Islington. It's going to be played not just in America, but all around the world. Now, on one hand, I somewhat like the fact, because football is global, really. Football is global. There's fans everywhere. But at the same time, that's me saying it because us lot listening, smash the like button. We love football. We love it for the game. These lot just see cash. That's where I look at that a bit funny. Moving away from that, Southampton have received a £48 million bid from Chelsea for Lavia. They've been interested in him for a while. Apparently Chelsea have bidded for Lavia, Liverpool have bidded for Sado. They play each other on Sunday, so there's a battle on all fronts in that regards. Unfortunately for Real Madrid, Courtois has picked up an ACL injury and is likely to miss the season. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for them in the goalkeeping situation. They've been linked with Kepa. De Gea is a free agent. The fax machine definitely would work now. So yeah, hope Courtois gets back sooner rather than later. Keeping up the themes with goalies, I've covered this for obvious reasons on my channel at extreme lengths, but David Ryder is set to join Arsenal on loan with the option to buy from Brentford. Initially, it'll be a £3 million loan fee with the option of making it permanent for a further £27 million. Chelsea looks set to sign Tyler Adams, people, from Leeds after activating his release clause. I mean, if they get Lavia, Caicedo, Adams, bro, they got bare players, really and truly. Ward Prowse is set to have a medical at West Ham. I think that's a very good signing for them and someone that the fans will come to love if they don't already. Extreme professional. Liverpool have contacted Brighton about Caicedo, but Chelsea are still front runners to sign the Ecuadorian. There's also rumours Bayern Munich have got interested. So Brighton at this moment in time, they might be frustrating the world, or definitely as Arsenal fan when we tried to buy him, frustrating, or whatever club you support. But if you got 3 clubs trying to bid for your star man that you've sign a new deal, you're going to do what you're going to do. Apparently, he's disillusioned with life at Brighton. He's made it clear he's leaving. But at the end of the day, you signed a new deal. Every ace is in the Brighton pack. Apparently, Liverpool have not yet made an offer, but are continuing to explore the market for a midfielder. But as been the case throughout the current window, the strong expectation remains that Caicedo will join Chelsea. Liverpool are engaging in due diligence and ensuring that if a deal is there to be done, they're aware of it, particularly given Southampton's ongoing position on Lavia, people. So we'll have to see. Really, apparently Chelsea want to get a deal done before the weekend, but Brighton are not budging. I mean, Tony Bloom's bad news. If you're a West Ham fan, you've signed Edson Alvarez, people. The Mexican international joins you from Ajax, and he was ironically going to join Chelsea, going to join Dortmund, and he's finally signed for a new club. We've already spoken about Mr. Adams there. Lucas Paqueta could be trading West Ham for Manchester City, people. They're prepared to pay 60 million. There are some articles that have sped up that and said West Ham are holding out for 100 odd. You got to rate West Ham. If they get 105 million for Declan Rice, anything from 60, 70, 80, 90 odd region for Paqueta. Got Skamaka, who's not in David Moyes' thoughts for what reason, off the wage bill, and they've definitely sold somebody else. I think is it Vlasic? Now time for them to get a move on with signings, really and truly. Paqueta's got 4 years left on his deal. Be a good signing for them, really and truly. And could you begrudge Paqueta for wanting to join Pep Guardiola, win a bunch of trophies, learn what you can under Pep? You'd be a madman to suggest that. Dembele has completed his medical tests at Paris Saint-Germain and he's set to be unveiled by the end of the week, if you're interested in that. Apparently, Fabrizio has said both Neymar and PSG are working to find the best solution to part ways this summer. He's received proposals from El Hilal and MLS, and apparently Barcelona have been linked with him as well, people. PSG stripping everything back, and Messi's gone, and Mbappe's, I don't know whether he leaves this summer or next, but he's gone. Neymar, they want to get rid. They need to look to their academy, really, and look more for the collective, in my opinion, because when you look at half of these French players or talented French players, Kingsley Coleman, did he not score against them in the Champions League final? It come from your academy. There's too many great Parisian talents that mainly the German clubs are and even smaller French teams are grabbing for X amount of million, developing them and selling them for an ish load of money. You look at Moussa Diaby now to Villa. You look at Nkunku, who's now gone to Chelsea. The list will go on and 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 on, people. Apparently, Man City have submitted a second bid for Paqueta. This time it's 101 million euros. West Ham rejected and demanding 110 million euros. So what's that, about 90? Negotiations are progressing well, however, and both clubs are confident in striking a total agreement, people. So I'm sure West Ham fans won't be happy, but big money for 2 of your star players in Declan Rice and Paqueta. Whatever happens beyond that. El Hilal are looking at Thiago Alcantara, as you can see there. I'm trying to skip all the way to the top of this transfer column. Neymar's in talks with Paris Saint-Germain. Fenerbahce want Manchester United's Fred. Mbappe is to stay at PSG this summer, despite threats that he will play no part of their season. Aston Villa have contacted Galatasaray regarding Zanolio. Think he's a great player, people, but he suffered with 2 ACL injuries, a bit like, unfortunately, Buendia's just got. Apparently, Kane to Munich is a long way from being done. Kane is still leaning towards staying at Spurs at this moment. So Thomas Tuchel needs to get his Mikel Arteta on and sweeten him up, people. Al Hilal have been linked with Thiago Alcantara. I mean, he's been a fantastic player, played for big clubs, won everything. But I am a bit sad, man, because I definitely couldn't see the influx of Saudi clubs, but it does feel like he's got a lot more to give in the game. And I didn't think like he would jump ship already, really and truly. What else is here, people? So, yeah, we've spoken about Kane, Pavard. Burnley could be signing Ramsey from Aston Villa, people. They're in talks to sign Aaron Ramsey. Assuming they don't sign Jacob. Jacob's the sick one that scored against Arsenal, and he's lit. Tuchel wants to keep Pavard at Bayern Munich, however. Simeone rejected a move to Saudi. Boy, be trying to get myself some cha-ching. Paris Saint-Germain are looking at Kolo Muani. Real Sociedad are in talks over a loan deal for Van der Beek. Everton want to sign Iketike from PSG with a mandatory buy option, people. So it seems like the transfers are starting to build up, people. We've got just over a month left of the window. Transfers can progress pretty quickly. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discovered and discussed. Smash the like button. Appreciative for you lot listening. One love, folks.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like